Thank you.
Well, thank you, Alan, and good evening. Since I'm a guest to Toronto, I just came from Calgary, Alberta this morning. I was on a 6:30 a.m. flight, so I do my best to address our very honored guest here today, Your Worship, my good friend here, Olivia Chow, Honorable Minister Cho, MP Jin Yip, and also MP Han Dong, and I believe MP Said. I don't know whether she's here yet. And Counsel General Law. So wonderful to see many old friends and colleagues in the audience today, and I'm looking forward to meeting many of you and learn what you think of the Eating Bitterness Canadian journey from exclusion to inclusion, and also with the accompanying video. By the way, I should also acknowledge my very close friend and colleague, Mohammed Hashim here from the Canadian Race Relations Foundation, one of our funders. And the exhibition revealed many hidden truths and omissions of Canadian history that adversely impacted generations of Canadians of Chinese descent, as well as the acts of community resistance and perseverance that is ever present, and eating our bitterness, overcoming adversities, strengthening our resilience, so each generation will live a better life. It is our hope that through unveiling of the past and untold stories, open our eyes to the manifestation of racism in Canada through ideology and words of fear and blame, acts of hate and sanctions through discriminatory, hurtful laws. This project is part of the commemoration of the centenary of the Chinese Exclusion Act, which was marked by Action Chinese Canadian Together Foundation and Dr. Loy Wong, our successful nomination to the Canadian Historic Monument and Site Board, and the Government of Canada's presentation of the commemorative plaque in the Canadian Senate Chamber on June 23, 2023, during the national remembrance of the centenary of the Act, organized by the ACCT Foundation and Senators Wu and Oh. The centenary was also marked by the opening of the Chinese Canadian Museum in Vancouver. And one of the key organizers of the June 23rd event is Judge Wong, who is amongst us here today in the audience, and a former board member of the ACCT Foundation. I think we also have Lai King Hum, also a former board of ACCT here today. So the ACCT Foundation's primary purpose is to ensure the full and equitable participation of Chinese Canadians in the public, cultural, economic, social, and other spheres of life in Canada by raising public awareness about the history, reality, and costs of anti-Chinese Canadian discrimination, and building and supporting Chinese Canadians and others with training, organizing leaders' summits, developing and disseminating research and educational resources. I'm so pleased and proud with the dedications and hard work of teams of people involved, historians, educators, some of them are here, scholars, artists, community members, and our project partners, the Cultural Center of the Greater Toronto, and also Justin Poi Agency and Asian Canadian Educators Network, that we're able to bring Canadian imageries and contents that hopefully would engender greater understanding of our shared history and our sense of, and to provoke our human connection and shared sense of compassion for our past experiences, as well as the contemporary forms of othering, marginalization, and hate that is very much part of our current reality. So ACCT Foundation wishes to extend our appreciation to the Government of Canada for the funding support for the production of the exhibition, and also the accompanying video and the multimedia website, all developed and enhanced, all developed with enhancing awareness of the Canadian public, educators, and students in mind. and also our gratitude to the Canadian Race Relations Foundation for the support of the traveling exhibition so that Canadians from across the country and hopefully beyond the center of the universe, Toronto, that we are doing the first launch in Canada, but we very much hope that the second, third, fourth tier cities and towns of Canada, Canadians in those places, can also share this information and experience. So, and I think more importantly, you're the very special guest here today, invited by the Cultural Center of Greater Toronto, that I hope that you will also take time to share with us your story, your family story, your community story, and so that by answering the question, what would Canada be without you? What would Canada be without your family's contribution? What would Canada be with the untold story of building Canada from your community's perspective, so that we can give voice, instill inspirations, and pay homage to those whose contribution to building this country was never recorded or captured. I'm so happy to learn, I had the honor of receiving a copy of Dr. Vivian Poy's book. I haven't had time to read it. But you know what? My grandmother was one of the people, one of those women who were left behind. She was separated with my grandfather for 33 years. And she not only raised her own children, she raised other people's children, and she was tortured and experienced war all by herself. So, so this is also about commemorating, our 公公婆婆、爷爷妈妈, and the many untold story. So it's also have a special meaning for myself. So I'm very pleased to have the opportunity to work with many great people in this country, in different parts of Canada, to make this happen. Thank you so very much for your attention.
Thank you, Teresa. We have a plaque to present to you.